it's very, very important to, be alongside and join AAOIFI in this whole realm of fantastic and, very important domain of creating rightly skilled human capital. Of course, TAIF being one of the partners of AAOIFI does this job very well in a joint fashion. Now, it's a bit of a brief introduction of AAOIFI capacity building that I'm going to do, guys. First of all, let me just very crisply put what AAOIFI is all about. AAOIFI, as you know, stands for AAOIFI, means the Accounting and Auditing Organization for Islamic Financial Institutions. The main mandate of Islamic finance post its development in 1991, it is quite an old body. I mean, the pioneering body that is among the main institutional architecture pillars of Islamic finance development all over the world. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, that we have now, as a very prominent, institutional body that takes care of Islamic finance development from very core perspective. Standard setting is one of them. And standard setting, I'll show you, it's done in a very comprehensive fashion. We have now 166 inactive institutional member in over 37 countries and growing rapidly. So far, AAOIFI itself, given the mandate it carries for so many decades, has so far created 117 standards and technical pronouncements in 5 areas, including Sharia, accounting, auditing, governance, and ethics, via a staunch group of top-level experts in each domain. If you have it, you name it and we have it is the mantra over here. I do not think any other institution have the luxury and the support of expert mentality of top-notch experts in all these domains of Sharia, accounting, auditing, governance, ethics, and so on and so forth, like AAOIFI has. No other institutional body that fills the ecosystem of Islamic finance as importantly as AAOIFI, as importantly the mandate it covers, has such luxury to go with and to produce its outputs. The global footprint adopted and adapted more than over 40 jurisdictions. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, again, the number is growing. And guess what? Again, the unique feature is that whatever AAOIFI produces, the standards and all the other related aspects, is available in multiple languages, Arabic and English, of course, being the prominent. Now, apart from doing all of this as its primary objective, AAOIFI always felt that one of the key features that has always missed Islamic finance, or somehow we are yet to address it in a very comprehensive and very, unique manner, in a robust manner, is the fact that whatever such institutional bodies has produced, it has never been or have never seen, its proper ambitions being met when it's, when it had to deliver its message to the audience, to mass stakeholders. And this is why we felt that, the best way forward to whatever AAOIFI does and whatever AAOIFI produces in all the multiple domains it works in a very, very comprehensive, very robust, very anti-fragile manner. One way, of course, is to, via media, publish and tell people what AAOIFI is doing. Social media is one, conferences and stuff, etc. like this. But one thing that we always realize is to go ahead and make AAOIFI more unique, is to do it in a formal capacity building oriented fashion, so that there is no missing link. So whatever we produce in AAOIFI, we capacity build it for the mass audience. It's not that we tell them or we make the audience know. No, that's not enough. What we do is we go 4 or 5 steps ahead, 4 or 5 extra miles. So whatever is produced in the domain of Islamic finance, vis-a-vis the mandate AAOIFI carries, and look at what AAOIFI has done, mashallah, over the few decades, so much input and so much development it has supported and keeps on supporting in the overall spectrum of Islamic finance the world over. What we always are very focused, and it's among our central focuses, that we should necessarily capacity build the stakeholders to whatever we do. It's not telling them, it's not just sharing knowledge. It is essential capacity building that we must do in order to help Islamic finance know what IOFI is doing, and then develop its own mentality, develop its own pure skill set to the domains that IOFI carries. Hasibullah, you have raised your hand. Hasibullah, please go ahead and ask your question or comment that you have, Hasib. Hasib, are you there? Anyways, let me carry you. Hasib, are you there?
No, sir, I believe he have lowered down his hand. You can make the full screen. Maybe they are asking for full screen.
Full screen, you say. There you go, full screen. So what we have done over here is that our necessary approach is that whatever we do, we have to simultaneously capacity build to the stuff that we produce for the development of Islamic finance. And we do that in a number of ways. You know, I mean, this is what I want to go and first of all tell you that what IOFI as a body does. You see, standard setting in IOFI, of course, remains and is the main mandate of Islamic in Islamic finance for the province that we carry. But uniquely speaking, and unlike many other similar institutions that we have in the ecosystem of Islamic finance that carries the institutionalization pillar mandate for the development of the industry, IOFI, folks, does it in a very unique way. So when we do our work, we do our work from the perspective of accounting, from the perspective of governance system in the Islamic financial sector, from the perspective of covering the ethical domain for the industry, from the perspective of covering the auditing domain of the industry, and of course, the umbrella domain of Sharia governance and Sharia compliance of the industry. No other entity does this or carries such a unique and overarching mandate that IOFI does. So we have, when we do something, when we produce a standard or when we take any initiative, and then of course that initiative then eventually has to be translated and transformed through capacity building for that initiative so that the industry mentality wise grows as well. This itself is very unique, but what we produce is equally unique because we touch the bases from all the core areas of Islamic finance. When we say set a Sharia standards, we look at it, how it's going to affect the accounting treatment of that domain. We look at it, how it's going to affect the governance domain of that discipline. We look at it, how it's going to translate into this ethical intricacies of that domain and the auditing intricacies of that domain. And this does not limit itself to the banking industry or the capital market industry or sukuk industry. We also go to the length of covering the thaqaful industry. That I think is always, treated as a stepchild because very little, if at all, is done for the Islamic thaqaful sector because number speaks. The industry hardly, a little over 1% of Islamic capital mass that the whole Islamic financial system captures, only 1% or so comes from the thaqaful side. So IOFI uniquely addresses the thaqaful needs from all these spectrums as well. So this is the mandate and the work that IOFI does. And guess what? This is why we feel that necessarily capacity building to whatever is produced by IOFI in all these domains for all of these sectors, banking and thaqaful included, capital markets, sukuk included, and so on and so forth, has to be necessarily simultaneously and instantly must be capacity built. Again, capacity build, not release information or create knowledge or make people aware. It is necessarily mental, mind, and fitra makeup that IOFI is very, very conscious about. And again, as I submitted, no other similar entity that carries such an institutional mandate for the development of Islamic finance for the whole globe does this. No other entity does this. We have other similar kind of institutional entities for financial markets, for the risk management, the IFSPs, the IIFM, and other stuff. They are equally important, equally beautiful, equally wonderful, very, very important entities in the whole Islamic financial sector. But when it comes to addressing the needs of Islamic finance from a multifaceted orientation as I've submitted, and covering the whole spectrum or the whole gamut of subsectors in Islamic finance, and then on top of it, necessarily providing capacity building as its main or among the main activities. This is what AAOIFI does, and this is why AAOIFI becomes much, much more important as an institutional entity for the whole development of Islamic finance, current and future trajectory including. And this is why this session, this knowledge, and this information regarding what AAOIFI does and how it translates necessarily all its outputs to capacity build the mass audience is very, very important, as I've submitted in my first part of this speech, or this note, as you call it. Now, this is where, I mean, look at this red bottom line. Anybody who wants to get the advantages and benefits and become a part and a recipient of not only what AAOIFI does, but become a recipient by entering the domain of capacity building through AAOIFI, because you cannot directly enter AAOIFI if you've not done the capacity building. So one way of making sure that people enter the domain of AAOIFI and what AAOIFI does and what AAOIFI holds for and how it develops Islamic finance is through capacity building. So if you really want to know what AAOIFI does, you want to become part of, you want to get a proper hang and mental makeup of what AAOIFI does, you have to understand that the only way to know and grasp this and get fully equipped is by entering the AAOIFI capacity building. Now, if you enter AAOIFI capacity building, that no other similar entity goes into this length and this maximization and this formalization of capacity building like AAOIFI, you would definitely and straight away get access to almost these number of countries. So if, for example, I'm a Sharia expert and I want to play a role in the Sharia setup, taking forward the whole Islamic financial sector, be it the kaful banking and whatnot, the only way I know that there are 41 regulatory jurisdiction and over 38 countries that either fully adopt or refer to or operate their Islamic financial sector in line or in adherence to AAOIFI. So if I am a recipient of AAOIFI capacity building supplies, I get instant recognition and instant relevance and instant access to over 40 countries. So it means my aptitude, my grandeur, my expertise, once it has been topped up and further facilitated by AAOIFI capacity building initiatives or capacity building products or capacity building itself, than what AAOIFI has produced, I become instantly relevant to 41 countries. So if, for example, I was a Sharia scholar who wanted to have a future in Islamic banking and finance, or in takaful or capital market and whatnot, in Bangladesh, for example, and I have qualified, and I'm a mufti, and I've qualified my Sharia underpinnings. Now I want to make a name and contribute into the Islamic financial sector. Well, I mean, guess what? At that time, perhaps for that moment, I may be relevant to the only Bangladesh market because of the local dynamics. But the moment I got qualified and a recipient of AAOIFI capacity building, or is an outcome of AAOIFI capacity building, including Bangladesh, I am now equally more relevant to 40 other countries. If I was a financial accountant and I want to now contribute to Islamic financing accounting, let's say I was, for at that time, only relevant to a, let's say, Indonesian, accounting relevance, and I wanted to contribute to Islamic banking and finance. The moment I got involved and became an output of AAOIFI capacity building that relates to, let's say, for in this case, financial accounting standards, the moment I qualified any of these AAOIFI programs that relates to me upgrading my capacities, then instantly I am equally relevant not only to Indonesia, but 46 more countries. So what AAOIFI has done is that it has made you globally relevant. So now I have more opportunities, more venues and more relevance in the global market than only a Bangladesh or Indian market or Indonesian market, for example. So this bottom line in the red should instantly give you not only excitement, not only encouragement, but broaden your vision that instantly once you go through the AAOIFI capacity building and how a unique AAOIFI has crafted it, how unique AAOIFI has mandated itself to deliver, and how unique AAOIFI is doing it as a service to the Ummah and to the industry and the Islamic finance stakeholders, current and future stakeholders, especially the youth coming in, the young scholars coming in. You get instant relevance to over 40 countries, be it Sharia-wise, governance-wise, and accounting standards-wise. So this is the magic. This is something that is unreal vis-a-vis any other qualification that you do, no matter from which part of the world or whichever institution, that you get instant recognition for a list of countries that are following AAOIFI. And this is the power, the prowess, the mandate, the muscle power, the hikmah power that AAOIFI carries and automatically gives you. To me, if I were you, this bottom line, the red bottom line, is an instant 2 + 2 calculation where I can instantly know that how I'm going to get 4. Now, about capacity building programs, one of course, I mean, this is what our belief system is, but of course, this is our core belief system, but the sub-themes in the belief system is that we are looking to always make sure that via capacity building, we are always modernizing and dynamizing ourselves as well as the audience and the stakeholders. Number 2, the youth is becoming more and more focused for AAOIFI. The incoming youth is becoming more and more focused of AAOIFI. Not only the modern development of Islamic finance wise, but we think that the younger blood, the new blood, is going to be the torchbearers of Islamic finance moving forward 2023 onwards, given the digital Islamic finance, the green Islamic finance, the sustainable Islamic finance, the SDGs driven Islamic finance, the halal driven Islamic finance, the circular economy driven Islamic finance, the impact investing driven Islamic finance, the climate finance driven Islamic finance, the cybersecurity driven Islamic finance, and so on and so forth. These new demands, these new pressures for Islamic finance to live its mandate in a jiddan fashion has to be met by not only the current lots of industry experts, scholars, and so on and so forth, but the younger lot, the fresh blood, the youth that is coming in. This is our main belief moving forward alongside these core beliefs, but this is our main belief moving forward, not only tame our own capacity building supplies, but tame them simultaneously, making sure they are reflective and in full unison with what's coming in as the younger blood of Islamic finance. And this is what our core belief is, and this is what keeps us always going as AAOIFI, and Zainab, of course, inshallah ta'ala, will further submit that too. Now, when we say that how we take capacity building serious and why we do this and what makes us unique by doing capacity building, and the further categories of what makes AAOIFI unique, and then hence further unifies and makes capacity building distinctive as compared to any other sort of sources of capacity building in Islamic finance in the world, and the recognition that people get instantly when they are part of or an outcome of AAOIFI capacity building. The process itself, when we create capacity building supplies and deliver capacity building, is so stringent that no other entity carries this, be it even a top-notch university. Look at the process over here. And remember, as I mentioned, being AAOIFI, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, we as a body are in a very unique status to have all the luxury of top-notch scholars and experts and names and brands I'm talking about, that are there right now and are looking forward to always support, help, assist, and get involved with AAOIFI to produce what we aim for. No other entity, no other such institutionally architectural entity, no other academic entity, be it Islamic finance top universities all over the world, you name it, and I can tell you no other entity has such luxury of expertise at the back end and the front end as well, and goes through such stringent process pre, ex ante, and ex post to create and then deliver capacity building, ex ante and ex post as well. Look at the governance structure, how we produce it. This is why it is so quality conscious. And eventually what you end up becoming after qualification of IOFI programs or capacity building or whatever comes in this domain, the recipient is a different species altogether. Pre IOFI capacity building initiatives and post IOFI capacity building initiative. Why I say that? Because let's look at the start, how it all originates. Number one, the governance structure. Now in IOFI, and again, these are the only unique features that IOFI carries, folks. We have what we call as an IOFI education board. Now, IOFI Education Board is a global collection of top academicians, academic and scholarly minds that sit under one roof and create, map current and future recognized at the same time supplies of capacity creation that is needed by the Islamic financial world globally. So we have this IOFI Education Board, collection of top academic minds, top scholarly minds, wealth of experience, 40 years of education experience, capacity building experience from world over, from GCC to Southeast Asia, to East Asia, to South Asia, to Europe, to America. We have collected the whole world and put these top minds, top experts who are institutions themselves, you know, under one roof, under the title of IOFI Education Board, and they decide the nitty-gritty of creating the whole domain of current and futuristic mentality of what is going to be produced as IOFI courses, IOFI programs, IOFI workshops, IOFI conferences. Hell, this is the whole domain of capacity creation and capacity building supplies that this board creates. And this is not all. The board is further supported by 3 subcommittees. One is called the Curriculum Review Committee, the other is called the Exam Review Committee, and the third is called the Translation Review Committee. Why? Because IOFI, again, an extra unique feature is whatever it does in multiple languages. All the programs of IOFI are minimum 2 languages and increasing. So this is all done in a multiple languages oriented manner, Arabic and English being the most important and more prominent. So this board, whenever it's, let's say the board decided that we need to launch for the whole industry a workshop, let's say on Islamic digital finance, or a workshop on how Islamic finance can play a green Islamic finance role. Let's say, I'm just, using this as an example. So the whole luxury of mental makeup that makes up the whole board, they will decide after very strong, very comprehensive, exhaustive deliberations that let us for this year create capacity building supplies in a form of a workshop or a certification or a 3-day program or a crash course or a proper graduate program. Let us address these issues and these topics and create capacity build, create standards, link it to our standards at the back end, and then as a proper linkage, post that linkage, now release it as capacity building programs for all the stakeholders, current and future stakeholders in all over the countries that IOFI has its footprints on. Then a curriculum is designed. Now each committee of the curriculum is equally capable. They are representative of experienced campaigners who are very well versed, well experienced in their expertise from all over the world. They design the curriculum. Once the curriculum is designed, if any program has an exam, then that program is filtered to the exam review committee and it is told, now curriculum goes back to the board. If the board approves the curriculum gets approved, the certificate is then formally launched in the market. If there is an issue, the board sends it back to the curriculum committee with their feedback. The curriculum committee works further on it to make it more stringent, more airtight, and then send it back to the board. And the board approves, and so on and so forth till quality criteria are met. Now, if anything has an exam or a testing scheme with it, some of the programs, like I'm going to share later on, have some exams and testing criteria. And if you qualify that exam, then you qualify that program. Otherwise, no. We have an examination review committee, mandate, again, a collection of top level experts who are experts in testing criteria. Not only Islamic finance education or curriculum design and all that, these people who are in the exam review committee knows how examinations are done. They are experts in designing, testing, creating quizzes, exams, testing criteria, how best to test each candidate or overall candidates on such a course. They sit and they design the whole examining and quiz and testing criteria as experts. And then eventually, if any certificate is launched in dual language or in more than one languages, then there is a separate dedicated translation review committee. Again, collection of top experts who are very, very good and they're from their backgrounds and from their expertise, proven expertise in command and mastery on dual languages. So this is the stringent criteria that is the first step. This criteria, education board and review committee, examine, everything goes back to the board, quality is maintained and then released to the market. And eventually out of this very stringent, and it takes us months sometimes a year or so to make sure that we have a consensus and we give to the market in line with what AAOIFI has done in accounting domain, governance domain, Sharia domain, auditing domain, so on and so forth, for all the sectors of the Islamic financial industry. In line with that, reflective of that, in tandem with that, contingent on that, connected with that, then eventually a course is designed. And it's a very Herculean task, guys. I mean, it really is tough. So whatever is reaching you, rest assured, a massive, massive effort has been done at different levels, in different ways, in different permutations and combination, till it reaches you. It is airtight. It is very quality conscious. Again, no other entity, be it educational or other institutional entity equivalent to AAOIFI, does this. We go 10 miles extra to assure that Ummah of Islamic finance is being served. So Zainab will tell you later on, I mean, you don't know how much effort, work is put into it before each program is designed and then eventually launched in form of even a conference workshop. So eventually you have programs, fellowship programs like the CPFAS, you have the fellowship program like the CAC and CSA, which were previously CSAA, now it's bifurcated into two, for your own benefit. For your own benefit. I'll explain later on in a very crisp way, and Zainab can also put in the words. Then you have proficiency certificates. In this case, I've just mentioned CPFAS. There's a CP Takaful coming up as well. Again, AAOIFI is also taking care of Takaful, while it's the hardly taken care market. It's so treated as a step kit. You know, sometimes I feel that, you know, I mean, so there is a CP Takaful coming up, is coming as well. We go strategic level as well. We have director centralization programs, the CFO program, the professional ethics programs. This is all is done up till here. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to also show you another slides, I mean, another screen, other supplies that are incoming in AAOIFI. You'll be so happy what we have, what we are trying to produce, because look at this. I mean, this is still, you know, I mean, soon to be released, but look at this. We are now going segment by segment, regulators, Islamic banks, the Takaful operator, asset management and non-banking sector, the social finance, the ministries, the academician and students, the board of directors, the scholars, the CFOs and CEOs, even the legal and arbitration. All of them are going to be dished out with a pelotra. Even AAOIFI graduate programs are coming as well. Very soon you'll be, it's a full 1 to 3 year plan of AAOIFI capacity building that is soon going to be released in a month or so. And you'll be so happy that other than the flagship programs, other flagship programs and other equally exciting and important core programs are coming in consideration of current and future development of Islamic finance in a very segmentized fashion, guys. In a very no other entity is doing this, or I don't think imagine doing this with such stringent back-end processes. Not only the stringent back-end processes like these, but guess what? I mean, as I will show you later on, the delivery of these programs are equally done with an absolutely equally relevant and a well-designed quality conscious manners. The people who get involved in delivering these programs are equal level of masters and experts in their fields of each topic that is being delivered. Now, look at the extra benefit that you get in the whole domain of AAOIFI capacity building. Again, only AAOIFI provides that, no other entity. I'm proud to say that. The networking. Now, when you are doing AAOIFI capacity building, you also get capacity building in different flavors, different scope and scale, like AAOIFI Q&A forum, AAOIFI Global Fellow Forum, AAOIFI capacity building conferences. These are the domains where you get networking. Remember, I told you the moment you enter AAOIFI capacity building, straight away you qualify AAOIFI programs, be it the new program that I've showed you in a Word file just now, and be it these present programs that are already being delivered, you instantly get access and get relevance to 40 over countries instantly and growing. These countries are growing, as a matter of fact. Maybe inshallah ta'ala, in the next couple of years' time, maybe you have 60 odd countries, inshallah ta'ala. So other than that, the other domains of capacity building are the Q&A forums, the global forum, the AAOIFI conferences, where you get instant access to the whole world of Islamic finance. You come and attend an AAOIFI conference, Matalan, you're not only coming to a conference or just another conference, you're coming to a conference where the whole Islamic financial world comes under one roof, from the top tiers to government officials to even royals, to even the students. So you have the whole ecosystem of Islamic finance under one roof. Guess what? Look at the amount of opportunities. You never know where you can strike gold. So if you're already an AAOIFI certification holder, be it whatever program that you have done, new, current, or the flagship program, or the programs that are soon going to be released to the market in a segmentized manner, as I've showed you, and on top of it, you enter and further capacity build and get awareness and networking. This is the key word. Through attending an AAOIFI forum or a conference or a seminar or a symposium or a workshop, you get to meet the whole ecosystem, the whole representation of the global Islamic financial world, and you never know where you can get a job offer, or get a further elevation, or get any other opportunity on offer. Who knows, you get involved into AAOIFI itself, because then what you get also access to AAOIFI job portals. Now, job portals does not mean AAOIFI jobs. It means AAOIFI is now going to give you access of the whole job portal that Islamic financial industry has on offer. So being an AAOIFI capacity building qualified individual, you get access to all of this. No other entity of such scale and scope provides this, even a school or a university in Islamic finance. Memberships, guys, recognition. You get recognized by becoming, who knows, some of you are very well qualified that you get membership to become part of the AAOIFI boards, education board, or the AAOIFI committees. You might as well, you think that you are a very good speaker, you're a very good trainer, your history is awash with such expertise. You can easily apply to become, last time you were the recipient of, and somebody else was training you and got a certificate into AAOIFI program. Guess what? Now you want to become an AAOIFI trainer of that program. Yes, please do so. So number of perks and privileges are available if you enter the realm of AAOIFI capacity building. No other place in the world is available in Islamic finance that gives you such a full throttle, comprehensive capacity building scenario and capacity building supplies. This is what we call as A to Z, top to bottom, mental capacity building, human capital, not only creation, but taking care like a mother and father takes care of them, like parents. Now, professional programs of AAOIFI, some of them you already know, just to give them a brief as well. Some of the flagship programs, and as I showed you, There are more coming. I showed you just a list that is soon going to be finalized and released soon in a few months' time in a segmentized manner. CPA, the Certified Islamic Professional Accountant, available in 3 languages, Arabic, English, and Russian. Other languages are on the way as well. Then you have CSE, the Certified Sharia Expert, and the Certified Sharia Auditor. This is the old Certified Sharia Advisor and Auditor program broken down into 2, currently available only in Arabic, but soon, inshallah, coming in English as well. This is the CPA, launched in 2006, revamped in 2017. It has 4 modules with a 1 year of practical experience, offered currently in English, Arabic, and Russian languages. Very stringent, very important. Anybody who wants to have a career in Islamic accounting, this is the program to go, because this program gives you all of this, This program gives you all of this, the way it is created, the way it is delivered, the way it is announced, the way it is produced, the way it is catered and exposed, the way instant recognition it gives you, instant relevance it gives you. It gives recognition on over 40 countries and growing as a matter of fact. It gives you recognition on all of these spectrums. No other courses can do that, and all AAOIFI courses does that. And look at what it does is it allows you to enter 166 institutional members, over almost 120 standards of AAOIFI, and so on and so forth. So guys, I mean, not only this program, but anything that belongs to AAOIFI capacity building, and you get a chance to be a recipient of that, gives you equal amount of access and love and luxury and leverages. So this is CPA. CSE launched in 2023, 4 modules. This was, remember, CSE and CSA, these 2 are broken down into 2. The old CSAA is now broken down into 2 from September 2023 onwards, for your own benefit, because we want people to get much more insightful when it comes to such core areas. Over here, CSE, Certified Sharia Expert, currently available in only 2, has 4 modules. One is Sharia Standards, the other is Islamic Financial Structuring and Development, AAOIFI Technical Standards, and Business and Regulatory Environments. Very, very important. A lot of hard work has done into it, guys. Again, the board, the committees, again the board, again the committees, again board, again the committees, then the final, then the launch, then the final check, then the relaunch, then everything is airtight till it is eventually produced into this shape and then launched in 2023. So please make the most of these. This is, and of course, the expo stuff attached too. The CSAA, the Sharia Standards, the Sharia Audit and Governance, the Financial Accounting, Business Regulatory Environments, again, are currently only available in English. 4 modules, 1 year of practical experience. Amazing upgradation, amazing upgradation. I mean, I qualified myself to CSAA, and now I'm thinking also to, get access to these, me personally too. CPFAS is another professional certification. If anybody doesn't have time to do this, go to a shorter version, CPFAS. It's a profession. Of course, this is not going to give you this accreditation and you don't become a fellow, but of course you become a certified financial accountant, because you will get a crash course program on a certification on your proficiency in financial accounting standards. Launched in 2022, 1 in module only. It covers the core 28 important financial accounting standards that are done by AAOIFI. Overall, 250 hours of self-study required at a minimum, offered in English only right now. Arabic is soon to come, inshallah ta'ala. Again, this is perhaps, if I can informally put, a shortcut to CPA, but none better than full CPA, of course. This is just, certification does not give you a fellowship. Then you have, while I showed you the other list as well, you have from that list, the Word file that I've showed you, you have now a 10-day workshop on summary of AAOIFI standard, the director sensitization program, the professional PEP program, the 10-day CPA crash course program, the TD AAOIFI workshop program, alongside all the online programs. And guess what? Again, superior learning content, globally recognized, enhanced career prospect, and all of this, folks, are done by training methods, master trainers, multiple languages, specialized workshop, premium learning materials, subsidized fees. Oftentimes, we end up offering decent amount of scholarships as well to deserving candidates and jurisdictions, physical and online as well. We do online workshops as well, guys, post-COVID. This is the advantage that AAOIFI online, a full calendar of 1 year AAOIFI online programs and workshops is also available. Website and other AAOIFI channels can easily give you the list and information about that. What do we have over here? Of course, Zainab will go into a little more detail. Guess what, guys? I mean, one thing that I should tell you more importantly, it'll be the first two things new coming up alongside other stuff. Number one, AAOIFI e-learning portal. AAOIFI is going to be the first entity in the whole Islamic finance domain, the status and scope it carries as an institutional architectural body of Islamic finance. It is going to advance its whole capacity building domain into an e-learning portal where you can learn about all of these programs and the content of these programs and what AAOIFI does, the standards and all of this in a very user-friendly e-learning lectures. Everything will now be transformed into an e-learning, lectures being one example. Everything will be delivered in an e-learning project. Taxonomy is also going to be there. Summaries. AAOIFI is going to produce, inshallah ta'ala, smart summaries, smart, crisp summaries of all its standards. If you don't have time, you're busy at work, I'm sure you all are, and you don't have time to go through the whole standard, AAOIFI is giving you, for your own benefit, for your own user friendliness, summaries of its standards, Sharia and accounting. First of all is the launching of the Sharia standard summaries. So all of this would be available in e-learning portal, mostly free, but of course paid in a very subsidized rate, very admin cost serving payment, because AAOIFI is not for profit, of course. So we don't work for making profit. It's all there. It's all for the benefit of the ummah now, and to cover up our admin costs, to say the least. The first time in the history of Islamic finance, e-portal is going to be launched very soon. In the history of Islamic finance, guys, the first time we are going to have the launch of what we call as 1 week celebration of Islamic finance capacity building. This is the first of a kind celebration in the history of Islamic finance. AAOIFI is going to launch in November. Mark the dates, 21st November till 27th of November. It is going to be the first ever Islamic finance week of capacity building. It will be a capacity building festival where the whole world will be offered a festive environment of celebrating capacity building and participate for the full week of an array of workshop that AAOIFI is going to deliver by mass experts, by top level international experts. Experts are coming, candidates are coming, the industry representative of the whole world would be there, and a 1 week of full throttle capacity building is going to be celebrated in a very festive way of delivering workshops by AAOIFI. Very subsidized rate, again, all for you, all user friendly. The last 2 days of that whole celebratory festival of capacity building in Islamic finance by AAOIFI, of course, joined by other key players as well, including Islamic Development Bank. The last 2 days of that whole capacity building week will finish with a 2-day AAOIFI IDB Islamic Finance Conference. So while the first day would be the festival of capacity building, where you have an array of workshops that you can attend in Arabic and English by top level expert, dealing core topics, futuristic and current topics in Islamic finance. There will be at least 10 to 12 different concurrent workshops in a festive environment. The last 2 days, day number 6 and 7, on 26th and 27th of November, inshallah ta'ala, bi'iznillah, the same workshop would then translate, and the climax would be with this high level, top level expert conference of AAOIFI and Islamic Development Joint Conference. This has never been done in the whole world before. This is the level of 1 week of pioneering, user-friendly capacity building in a very smart, festive environment. A full week of capacity building celebration would be delivered by AAOIFI. and you must take advantage of. This is what we are doing it, everything for you. AAOIFI is for you, for the industry. This is all for you. And it is you who are to take advantage of this. And I think, I mean, this is something that has never been done before in the domain of capacity building. And I think this is the right way forward to capacity building Islamic finance. And capacity building week, celebratory week, is another, way of celebrating the importance of capacity building in Islamic finance for the whole globe. So, ladies and gentlemen, how to do it, how to get registered, how to do this pre-registration, and what rules to follow, how to contact, etc., and what further to do with CPA and CISA and CISA. I would also want my dear colleague Zainab to come and deliver the same kind of information, especially with the relevance of these flagship programs into Arabic, so that people who are much better in Arabic parlance and Arabic language do not miss out on this nitty-gritty that I've just shared with you. And if you have any questions, guys, again, I'm here for you. AAOIFI is here for you. All of this, what has been submitted and what is incoming, including this e-learning and capacity building week celebration in November, is for you. Take advantage of it. We do all of this hard work to ensure that Islamic finance is rightly directed and rightly handled by this rightly skilled human capital. We are doing our bit, you do your bit. Wherever our further support is needed, Zainab and myself are available. AAOIFI whole is available to you and my other colleagues as well. And Zainab is going to walk you through to the other aspects of this too. Any other question that you have, myself and Zainab, including our friends in Taif, are more than available. And we do this in as much user-friendly manner as possible, ex ante, export, and during as well.